Champions, with help of the square rule, without calculating like b5, king e7, b6, king d7, we look at the position and figure it out immediately if opponent's king is in time or we are faster. So what is the square rule? What we do? We take this pawn and make a square in our mind. How we do that? We take a diagonal from our pawn to the 8th rank, like this, and then we make a square in our mind. Up, 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 we remove the diagonal, and here is the square of our b4 pawn. If opponent's king is somewhere in this square, it means they are in time. In this case, the king is on f7, it's in the square. This means our pawn will not be faster. We play b5 here, the square becomes smaller, right? But king enters into this square. b6, king d7 again, king here. b7, king c7, the king controls the b8 square and also attack the b7 pawn, and we lose the pawn. Alright, so this is the square rule. We are taking a diagonal, making a square in our mind, removing the diagonal, and looking if the king is in the square or not. If the king is somewhere here in this square, they are in time. If the king is not here and it's, let's say, here, here, not in the square, they are not in time. Nice rule, right? Let me show you one more example. It's white to move without calculating like this. Can you look at the position and figure it out if we are in time to promote the queen or king is faster? Okay, so here is the square of our pawn. This means that if it's black to move, they can play king b6, king b5, or even king b4. They are in the square and they will be in time. But if it's our move, we play g4, the square becomes smaller, right? And the opponent king cannot jump into this square. If opponent does, we call arbiter and say it's illegal move. And now we can easily notice that now we are faster. The only tricky thing with this square rule is if our pawn hasn't made any move, because then the pawn can go, instead of one square, can go to two. Here in this case, it's white to move. Are we in time or not? From the first glance, looks like the opponent's king is in this square. However, when instead of playing h3, we play h4, the square becomes smaller, and now the king cannot jump. Alright? This is the only tricky part with this square rule, and it will very often help us to figure it out without calculating. We have seen this position earlier. When you know the square rule, you easily figure it out that if you play a4, the square of this a4 pawn is this one, and the opponent king cannot jump there. This means we are faster. Or in this game played by our developer, we play b4, this is the square of the b4 pawn, and the king is not here, so we will not need to calculate like this move by move.